You mentioned Bidvest. Let's kick off our discussion with this one. And of course, the company has subsidiaries operating in distribution, trading and food service.
Indeed, food service has been a big focus of theirs. They've done a number of international acquisitions in Asia, in Europe, infill acquisitions in Southern Europe and the UK, etc., etc. They've recently done a bit of a reorganization. We need to talk about that. But of course, Brian Joffe remains at the helm of this very, very successful South African growth story.
Market cap 116.3 billion rand, dividend yield 2.6 and a price to earnings ratio of 18.4. Do you own Bidvest?
We trade it quite actively. It's a very liquid share, so we have owned it from time to time. At the moment, the rating is quite high. I think there is a lot of excitement about the announced restructuring and possibly moving into a new phase, a sort of clearer phase. I guess it has been sort of commented that it's a conglomerate. I think a conglomerate that's done particularly well, but you're seeing a little bit of a trend. GE, for example, for a number of years has been very diversified, is starting to slim down and focus. And I think part of the restructuring is sort of pointing to that, three focused divisions with three clear levels of accountability there, and possibly looking to succession, past the Brian Joffe area into the future as well.
Well, Rowan feels that the market's going to be enthusiastic about the renewed focus that may come from the restructuring.
Chart. So it's been a very successful 5-year chart, and right at the end there it gets a little bit of a poke upwards into the 350 kind of area, 350 rand a share. So it's doing well.
This is the market giving them the thumbs up.
Yes.
Well, look, it's the food service business, which has now got one sort of standout divisional structure, and that includes the food service business here. Then it's got all the rest of the South Africa businesses or Southern Africa businesses. And then the last bit is what they call Bidvest Capital, which is any investment like in Adcock Ingram, we know is a big one for them, and then some other things, Comair and so on and so forth.
Rowan, you say that you trade it because of its liquidity. Where would you play it right now, given the recent rally?
So you've seen a re-rating, I guess, and it's an interesting stock because it's that the food services businesses, globally diversified, rand hedge, all the sort of positive characteristics. But if you look at the rest of the business, the sort of what they're calling now Bidvest Industrial, quite focused on the South African economy, obviously broad-based and quite exposed to that South African economy. So you're seeing quite muted growth there, quite muted outlook. But I think the market it's more than offsetting the expectations of the continued growth from the food services, I guess, part of that being the renewed focus as well, and attracting the rating. A very popular stock for foreigners and locals, so very liquid and nice opportunities to trade.
You like to buy stocks when they are trading at all-time highs? Are you going to
accumulate
accumulate some more?
The more expensive they look, the better, because then they're going higher. Look, I like this one. I'm interested, though, in Rowan's views as to whether he thinks there's going to be another stage of this reorganization. Because remember, about a year ago, there was talk that they were going to list the food service business separately in London, that maybe they'd get into talks with global food service companies like Cisco and others. Your sense, do you think it is going to result in an unbundling or splitting of the group?
So it certainly creates the potential for that, because they're creating the structures
reporting
in order to do that. So I think it remains an option for them. And also, I guess, maybe it's a package that a competitor could look at. So they could take that food services business, merge it with a US operation where they said they don't have exposure, and then maybe a separate listing as part of that. So I think it certainly creates optionality around the structure, and hence obviously attracting the result.
Do we have any idea of succession planning at the moment within Bidvest?
I don't think they've sort of said it clearly, but you've got you've got Brian Joffe at the helm, but you've got Bernard Burson looking after food services, Lindsay Ralph industrial, David Cleesby still there as the financial director. So again, it creates a potential path, I guess, like these large conglomerates like to do, that a bit of internal competition for that the next leader, and I guess it creates a path for a potential next leader, and much clearer to the market, who the individuals are running parts of the business and who may be a successor.
Yeah, well said.
Hot or not?
Look, we're in it. I like it. I think it's got fabulous assets and a great management team. Definitely hot.
Hot or not, Rowan?
Yeah, hot.